Hey, good evening. Welcome to the S Files, not the X Files, the S Files for Project Sentinel, and that's us. So we're here tonight because you're here tonight. It works better that way. And the issue is the elections, which we don't know the results yet of all the major places. One of them has been decided, and unfortunately, it's not good. And I'm not joking. Unfortunately. Uh, Spamberger won Virginia apparently. So it's a sad day for Virginia. Another reminder of why I left Virginia 4 years ago. Just saying. So, but someone who did not leave Virginia, who was here tonight in the People's Republic of Virginia, is Captain Navy Captain retired Pete O'Brien. Hey, Pete.
Tony, good evening. How are you?
So, has the Gestapo come and rounded you up yet?
They're not knocking on the doors yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're down the street.
Yeah, they're coming. So I don't get it, but I guess we'll talk about that more tonight. In the meantime, there's some other big races out there. We got Jack Chitterelli still in undecided in New Jersey, and of course New York. So that's going to be something. But someone who was in New York but not in New York City is Chris Cordetta. Good evening, Chris.
It's not a good evening in Virginia, and as Rod
No.
Stewart would say, we shouldn't leave Virginia alone. How about that?
But Rod Stewart also said tonight's the night, and everything is going to be all right. But it's not really going to be all right. Just saying.
Well, for fans of Jay Jones and whatever he said, I suppose tonight's the night for them. Not a good night for the Republicans. Virginia's a lefty state anyway in a lot of ways. Spamberger was going to win.
Right. It used to be.
Yeah, this spam was it's not the lovely and wonderful spam. It's the other kind.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth remembering, and of course, anyone who's been to Hawaii knows that there's such a thing as spam sushi, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's important to remember that in the last 30 years. Virginia, which had been a traditional Republican state for several generations.
Yeah.
The growth of the D.C. metropolis, the Washington D.C. metropolis, changed all that. And you look at Alexandria and Prince Williams County and Loudoun County and Fairfax County, in particular. Fairfax County is 1.2 million people, and those are predominantly either government employees or folks who are working for a company working for the government, and it's a very heavy weight on the way Virginia otherwise votes.
So I saw that transition. I moved there in 1988. Well, really late 87, but early 88. And when I moved there, Virginia was a strongly Republican state, and even Northern Virginia. But to your point, Pete, the cancer that is the liberal mind virus that existed in D.C. kind of spread to Northern Virginia. As a matter of fact, Ken Cuccinelli, who was a Republican, was my state senator, and I met him when he came canvassing in my neighborhood. So he won Northern Virginia, his district, by 12 votes the last go round, and this is in I think 2011, 12, and it was the last hurrah, because after that it went blue and never went back.
Right. So, I mean, that 20-year period from 1990 to 2010. I mean, there was a tremendous shift in the total vote in Virginia based upon that dramatic demographic change in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, it's sad, and I don't know, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit tonight, and I'm going to ask it right now. Why are people so stupid? Because Glenn Youngkin was not a super left-wing guy. I know Glenn. I've met him. Good guy. I attended one of the rallies in near you, Pete, up there in at that little well, I guess it's Chesapeake technically.
Yeah, you're right down the road. You're 7 or 8 miles from me at that farm. Yeah.
At the farm. Yeah. So, it was about 8 miles from you. And he was a reasonable guy. He did a good job of managing Virginia. So why is it people kind of go back to this left-wing nonsense? And Spamberger is not they kept referring to her as a moderate. She's not a moderate. She does not defend women's rights.
Spamberger, interesting thing. Spamberger, in the 73 pieces of legislation that Biden came out, strongly in one way or another, she voted essentially the Biden way 73 of 73 times.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is not a moderate by any stretch of the imagination, unless you somehow define Joe Biden as a moderate. The question, I think, really comes down to is what are people being taught? What are people growing up learning? And I think that spreads when you look into the apparent madness in New York City or Minneapolis or Seattle, where you see folks willing to, if you will, embrace socialism / communism. And I get a kick out of someone was ranting about Mamdani's a socialist. He's not a communist. And that's kind of,
yeah, and it's the same thing there. I mean, let's just not sugarcoat this. All I hear is, oh, he's a democratic socialist. The democratic socialist, right? Yeah, it's pure socialism, which, by the way, is communism. They're both authoritarian. They both destroy societies, and that's what they're built to do.
I do want to talk about. Yeah,
I mean, it's a centrally controlled economy. Is the heart and soul of both socialism and communism. Everything is tied to the economy, and the economy is controlled by the central government.
It's called a directed economy, and I know that term because I was just recently, within the last 2 days, doing, as Pete knows, and I've talked about this, I'm doing a deep dive on the Pacific War, World War II. And it's interesting you should mention this because we always get off on this topic, and I know Pete's a big historian on this too. So the Japanese knew that the Americans could outproduce them economically, probably they figured 5 to 7 times more, like in general things from steel to aviation, things like that. Well, they were wrong because they did not consider what an economy left to its own devices using capitalism, creative partnerships, and just letting people figure things out for themselves with incentives. They didn't understand. No, it'd be 100 times to 1 of like the ability to come back. And I was a little history here. I know we're getting off track, but at the beginning of the war, the Japanese had 10 or 11 carriers, depending on what source you go to. And they produced, by the end of the war, a total of 25. Pete, we produced by the end of the war 150. It's like, yeah, that directed economy, which the Japanese said, oh, we're going to direct things, it'll be fine. Yeah, it wasn't fine. So I'm just reminding people that every time you've had a directed economy, either on the fascism side, which the Japanese were kind of fascist, just say it. Not now. Don't sick Godzilla on me. Don't complain, because they're not. I like the Japanese. I think I'm going Japanese, right? Isn't that the song, Chris? I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. I really think so. Anyway, and some of our friends have been live at the Budokan, right? Cherie and Cheap Trick were both there, right? Chris, you should know this. You know them better than me. So just, nod your head knowingly. Yes, there you go. So we can't hear you. You must be on mute.
That's what I did. We're going to have some surprise guests here, by the way.
Uh-oh.
That's going to be good. That's right.
Did you get anybody from the British Isles, or is this going to be local stuff?
Well, I didn't get anybody from the British Isles, but I think our people who are watching and stick with us will enjoy this. And yes, join the live chat. We're going to answer your questions.
Join.
If you have some.
I see Elizabeth's in the chat. Welcome, Elizabeth.
There's a guy here who, or somebody who has something that I believe it's called profane internet handle. I suppose it's the censorship on that one. But Dan asked an interesting question. why do we trust elections? You want to look at the New Jersey elections right now? There's a big hullabaloo about the idea that a couple of very red districts in Cumberland County, New Jersey, had their
Yeah,
voting
funny how that always works.
right. Their voting machines went down for a little while. And you wonder exactly what's going on with that, because this is a state where the Republican candidate actually has a chance to win, Jack Ciattarelli.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's a great question, and as folks may remember, back in the first decade of this century, there was a commission put together led by Jimmy Carter, and their recommendation was that if you really wanted a secure election, you wanted to get the vote right, the vote was going to be accurate. Several things were needed, and they included paper ballots, physical ballots, positive identification, and controlled voting lists.
Yeah.
That was a commission led by Jimmy Carter.
So, well, we should. There's a lot of reveals going on right now in Maricopa County and Arizona, and down in Georgia. Our friends over at Rasmussen. We got to get that Rasmussen guy back on, Chris. By the way,
we're going to this. We're definitely going to, because the polls.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Yeah,
he
and
really
the polls
is
are going to be coming out for 2026 pretty soon. So we're going to be.
So we'll have him back on, and he'll talk about all these new reveals.
Right.
He's been great. Anyway, we'll have him back on soon. But in the meantime, to answer that question, since I'm actually an elected official here in North Carolina, I take great interest in the local elections. As a matter of fact, I've always been, well, not always, not like I grew up, from 10 years old and was an election expert, but I became an election expert based on some of the technologies involved in hacking. There was a time where machines could be hacked into. Some would argue they still can be. I'm one of those that says they still can be because they're designed that way. All these other things, I have to be careful because I don't want to get my network sued, because they got sued for, election stuff, which I don't want to get into since I work for Newsmax. What that said, though, the issue regarding the who controls, and I think Pete, was it Joseph Stalin? He who controls the counting controls the election, right?
It's not who controls the vote; it's who controls the counting. That's a Joe Stalin kind of.
And it's true. It's absolutely true. And we saw that firsthand in 2020. No doubt on that. So I think that there is concern, but I can tell you that people like me who are actually, let's see, what is it? Well, there's some places that don't really push the verification, like New York. You or I, well, any three of us, or you, Maria, could go into New York and vote right now, and you could say you're Joe Schmo. Well, you're not a guy. Are you questioning my gender? Are you threatening me?
That's right.
Are you threatening me?
Hey, I'm going to walk in and say I'm Tony Schaefer. There we go. Hey,
yeah,
I'll be here illegally in New York. There we go.
Yeah. Well, the point being, nobody would check. It's like, they can't ask you for ID, which is kind of stupid. And so, does that mean illegals vote? Of course.
Wait. They
in
won't.
Some states like California, they're encouraged to vote.
Right. Look, those in power on the Democrat side need the let's just say questionable votes. This isn't a new thing either. This has been going on for a long time. Do you remember the 1989 New York City mayoral election? That's another election we're going to be discussing today, or at least today's. But back in 1989, when Dinkins won, that was a very close race, against Giuliani. And there were stories of voters, questionable voters, having the same PO box as their address. Just one PO, about 50 of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so today I saw something on the internet, so it must be true, maybe. That Zoran Mondami's name was actually on the twice. Is that true, Chris?
Yes. Yes, it is, but that's not illegal. And
really?
I'll get to that. There's a big reason for that. A lot of these people in New York run on two different party lines. So you're going to have whether it be the Liberal Party, or I don't know if they have Liberal anymore, the Working Families Party, or you have the Conservative.
By the way,
Party.
he's not wearing any pants in that picture. Just saying.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of gross. This is the one his mommy produced, by the way, his rap
That's
video.
right.
His mommy
That's
produced.
right.
How about his
That's right. He was a
multi-millionaire
male
mommy?
stripper at one point, I guess.
There
Just
we go.
saying.
There was a terrible
Yeah.
rapper. I could rap better. Anyway, that's another story. The fact is, though, in New York, each governor's race dictates the line where
Yeah.
your party falls. So
Right.
independent candidates don't have a party, so they fall behind the Republican, the conservative, I guess the Democrat, and the right. I guess they call them the Working Families Party now, which really
Well,
in New York is
isn't
the
there a
non-working
conservative
families.
party? Like a conservative? Because I think that's what Herb London ran on, right?
Right.
He
Well,
ran-
Yeah.
there was a time he ran as a conservative. That's correct.
Right.
yeah, that's
Now,
right.
now, just keep in mind, though, you get a certain amount of votes. And I think it's 50,000 votes in the gubernatorial election. You get a top slot. For a little while after Al Lewis ran on the Green Party ticket, they got their 50,000 votes.
Isn't that Grandpa from the Munsters?
Yeah, yes, he's a socialist. He ran under the Green Party ticket, got about 50,000 votes, and the Greens
It's
for
true,
about
Pete.
4
We're not
years.
joking. This is
Right.
true.
And the
I know.
Greens for 4 years had a top slot. So independent candidates are stuck lower and lower and lower. So it isn't really shenanigans. It's longtime New York voter, let's just say,
Shenanigans.
yeah, shenanigans. But it's legal shenanigans. It's what they've been doing for a very long time.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about New York then, since we're on New York. So I understand that people don't necessarily like the city, although I think it's a great city, right? I mean, I like visiting. I don't know, but Chris, do you like visiting New York? Do you like Manhattan?
I like visiting New York. And when I was
Yeah.
younger, when I worked there, every once in a while, I'd say, hey, it would be great to move here because I see all the good things happening. Then I just walk by another block and it smells like urine. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to live here.
Is it true if you make it there, you can make it anywhere?
I suppose. I always thought you can make it anywhere or Inspiration Point.
I'm just asking because that's what Frank Sinatra always said. It's like, and I'm
But
curious.
I'm with you guys. You know, there are times you go into Manhattan, and I haven't been there a number of years, but the place is just, it's amazing. It's alive. It's just this amazing vibe, if you will, to the city. And of course, the food is just beyond imagination.
Pizza. Something about little pizza places that have those amazing. I was told, Pete, it's because of the water being contaminated. It does.
but think about some of the delis. Think about some of the delis you've been in New York, or some of these restaurants. Geez, the last time I was there, I went into this restaurant right down the street from the it was a kosher restaurant, and we had lamb. I think you were with me, Tony, and it was
I was there.
spectacular. It was just, I mean,
Hey, Daryl, we'll see you tomorrow, Daryl. I got your note.
Yes.
Daryl.
We're definitely seeing you tomorrow. It's
He's
gonna be
suspended
awesome.
from Facebook. Sorry, Pete, keep going. I just want to
No.
acknowledge Daryl.
I'm just the
sorry about
food is
Facebook.
the food is just absolutely magnificent. The people are fun. The city is just, it's throbbing all night long. But I want to live there on a bet. I mean, when you, as Chris says, you walk one more block and it's like,
So
what the heck?
let's talk about that. So most of y'all know Pete and I are almost neighbors. I mean, what, an hour apart, right? About an hour.
Yeah.
45
Yeah.
minutes. And our part of the country, I live in a more depressed part of the country than Pete. Pete lives in the good neighborhoods. And I'm actually not joking about this because in my county, we still have people living in trailers. And I'm not joking. A good percentage of our citizens, we are a pretty poor county, and yet we're doing better than the other poor counties around us. Bertie, man, oh man, Bertie, it's like, and they got people going to jail down there for corruption. Just saying. I mean, have you been following that, Pete? I mean, the city manager.
Little bit, yep.
Holy cow. So my point being is that despite some of the nonsense, we live, I think, can I say we live comfortably? I think we live comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not worried tonight about the heater going out. I just paid $8,000 to have it fixed last year. Just saying, but my point being, to be in a reasonable home with a reasonable expectation of comfort you have to be making $700,000+ in Manhattan. Did you know that to have a basic, acceptable lifestyle? So, Chris, why didn't you tell us you make $700,000? No, it's a joke. I don't.
Oh, because I'm
Chris doesn't
Italian,
know
and when I make money, I make it. It's a different
That's a
story
good answer.
there.
I'm gonna have to use that sometime. That's pretty good.
Like Family Feud.
So,
Good answer.
but no, my point being, so Zorhan Mandami is going to be basically trying to give everybody everything they want. So, Chris, you've been to Manhattan. You're a New Yorker. Is that possible? Is he going to be able to come in and say, hey, Vinny's ready. We'll bring in Vinny because I think Vinny's, a New Yorker too. So we'll bring him into the conversation. But my point being, is he going to be able to do that to give everybody? Is he going to give everybody a $700,000 a year salary to make them all even?
No, he's going to chop it all down to maybe 30,000, just like a normal communist would. And he's going to try to make the buses free. The buses are going to be faster too. And since they're free, nobody's going to fix them. The wheels will come off, and it's going to be a huge mess. In fact, nobody's going to want to ride in a bus after a while. There'll be no traffic because nobody can afford to drive there. And hey, that's why everything will run smoothly according to.
Do you know how much it's going to cost? Do you know how much it's going to cost to make the buses free to the city? Do you know how much it's going to cost?
How much?
$3 billion.
Yes, that's it. And by the way, what he's going to do is make up for that by outlawing forks. So nobody's going to be spending money on forks. That money will be taxed right towards the free buses. This way, everybody can eat the rice with their hands in New York City and enjoy it. Remember, you'll own nothing, you'll eat rice with your hands, and you'll like it. That's the man.
And if you're Arab, make sure you eat with the right hand, not the left hand. Just saying.
That's right.
Not that there's anything wrong. You don't eat with the left hand. Hey, Vinny.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey.
I know.
Hey, are you the guy that bought the Tony Soprano house? I've been wondering who bought that house. Did you buy that house?
Not me.
Oh, someone was saying it was bought, so I figured it must be you. So
no, it's not me. I stay far away from that.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, apparently, I think Tony Soprano would have voted for Jack Chittarelli. Just saying. So we love the mafia on the show. We already quoted Frank Sinatra tonight, so we're good here. Mafia is good.
that sounds good, right? Really
No, I got a quick story about this. People love our topicality. So, Vinny, do you know why Peter Lawford was kicked out of the Rat Pack? Do you know?
Not sure.
I know. I'm going to tell the story. So, anybody else? Pete, do you know why Peter Lawford was kicked out of the Rat Pack? Chris, do you know?
Didn't make a good enough martini.
No, I think martinis were optional. No, it's something way more basic. And where'd Chris go? Because Chris should be involved in this question. It's a celebrity question, and it has to do with California. So there he is, Chris. So did you know that Frank Sinatra was a big fan of the Kennedys? Did you know that?
I believe they all took some shots together. Yes,
probably. So anyway, so Frank Sinatra had a place in California, and what's the name of that place that all the celebrities have a place? Jack Bennett used to always make fun of it. Oh my God, it's out by the Salton Sea.
Palm Beach, Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. So all the different celebs back in, I guess it was 62, had a place in. So Frank Sinatra was so excited about having the Kennedys come visit him. He actually built a helipad in his house in Palm Springs. And guess who the go-between was between the Kennedys, because he married one, and Frank Sinatra? It was Peter Lawford. Did you know that?
I did not know.
No.
So basically, Peter had arranged, because of marriage or whatever, this visit that JFK was actually going to come to Frank Sinatra's house in Palm Springs and visit. You know what happened? They found out that They found out Frank Sinatra had mafia ties, and they canceled the trip.
You know, you think that would attract the Kennedys a bit more. You think, you know? Maybe?
I'm just telling you what happened. So anyway, at the very last minute, it fell apart, and Frank Sinatra never forgave Peter Lawford, and Peter Lawford died penniless and banned from the Rat Pack. And I'm kind of only half joking about that. It really is kind of true. Just saying. So the basic premise of the story is, if you're with the mafia, go all the way, and don't go with that guy. Don't go with Mondano.
Well, you can go here. This is what you're looking for. Kind of looks a little like The Village, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so that's why Peter Lawford. Now you all know a Peter Lawford story. Don't you feel enlightened now?
I'm happy.
Right. Yeah, I'm happy.
Show now.
I'm happy. Doesn't look good for Jersey tonight.
That's
It's not looking good.
Well, I know. I heard somebody's not happy about the results so far. So
that's so far.
I saw the big blue areas already came in, and they already for Mickey, Chief.
Yeah.
What's her name? Sharia.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that's predictable. That we knew that was going to happen. So let's see what happens in the rest of the state. We'll see where it goes.
Well, there was a lot of problems going on in Jersey with a lot of bomb threats and machines going down and this and that happening. So it's not again. They're cheating again. You know.
Well, at this point, according to NBC, we have Mickey Sherrill ahead at 57% to Jack Chitterelli's 42.4%. Not good.
Yeah. Right, and I'm looking at one that says 56% for Mickey and 42.6 for Jack right now. So they're not adding up. They're like different numbers, and they have Mickey Schmiel, whatever her name is, as the projected winner. You know?
Well, again, let's see what happens when the whole state is counted. We don't know. I guess not every district was counted. I have a map here from here you go. Here's a map at this point that from CB. So let's go with NBC's map.
Let's see the map. Yeah, I'm very disappointed. Yeah,
okay, this is from NBC News. So let's go with that. The map shows a few portions of Jersey. They went Chitterelli by a large margin here. Like even this section 66.1% down here. That would be Ocean County. And you have the productive areas like Sussex, the farm counties, Warren County. Again, heavily Republican here. Ooh, a nice vacation county as well. So there we go.
Hey, look at Cape May. Cape May's conservative.
Yeah. How about this? Kaminsky gets in there. But these heavy like Manhattan areas where a lot of the liberals from Manhattan and the boroughs moved into New Jersey. They're heavily Sherrill, but they're not as heavily Sherrill in some of these areas as you might think. So let's see what happens as the election draws, or as the counts draw to a close. It's not over until it's over, as the great Yogi Berra had said before. Let's bring in somebody who knows more about elections than we do. The great and very cool Cherie Curry.
Hey, Cherie.
Well, hey guys, how
Hi,
are
Cherie.
you?
Well, glad you're here.
I'm wearing black. I'm wearing black.
Yeah,
there's a reason. Okay. I think I'm this is gonna be the funeral for California today.
I think
I'm sad to hear about that. Yeah.
Oh.
Your funeral will be when Katie Porter wins next year.
Oh no. She's not gonna. Now I don't even think the liberals can put up with her. She's so distasteful.
Jersey polls closed about
9,
about 2 hours ago.
Was it 9 or 7 or
Where?
Oh, Jersey,
California. Oh, yes, and that is so sad. I mean, I'm watching the Republicans get creamed, and I can't even believe the attorney general that they voted for in was it Jersey that wanted to put bullets into.
Oh, Virginia.
Oh no, that's Virginia.
Did
he win?
Oh, that's Virginia. Yeah, well, he won.
Yeah.
He won.
Of course, he won.
Yeah.
He won.
Wow.
He won, and also in Jersey, that gal won. I didn't write her name down because I'm just so sick. But she
Yeah, Mickey Sherrill's the
And
projected winner
Virginia
at this
as
point,
well.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mickey.
And she's not so fine.
Yeah.
No,
she's not.
no, she got a lot of red tape on her.
Well,
So anyway, so
You know,
Sheree,
so-
now that we're on, so I saw that Gavin Newsom was out doing what Gavin does. By the way, did you notice that he looks exactly like the American Horror Story guy, Gavin Newsom? Did you notice that? I mean, he
I
was
don't know.
asked about it last week. It's like, hey, you
Oh,
look
really?
like
The
that
American Horror
Psycho
Story guy.
No,
Oh,
American
the
Psycho, right?
American
Yes.
American
Psycho.
Psycho.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. And this, yeah, I absolutely agree. And when I watch my state just disintegrate, and the craziest part is these liberals, the far left Democrats, or even just the moderate Democrats at this point.
There he is.
I mean, if
There he is.
yeah, oh yeah, I love that movie, by the way. But
That's a great movie.
you
Yeah.
know, why do the Democrats just like banging your head against the wall, or and expecting, you do the same thing over and over again and expect
Yeah.
something different? They have lost we have a serious mental health problem in the United States. We have this Trump derangement syndrome where now, I mean, a lot of these people are running to get Trump, and my God, they're miserable. I mean, nobody can afford homes. Nobody can afford a decent life anymore. And especially here in California, I mean, it's unbelievable because Congress, I mean, we've got 52 members in Congress. 43 of them are Democrats. We have only 9 Republicans just in the Congress. In the Senate, we have 40 seats, 30 belong to Democrats and only 10 Republicans.
Right.
If Proposition 50 goes through, we're not going to have any reps here in California at all. And I'm actually to the point where, they've gone so far now that I wouldn't mind just splitting the United States, or give us our states, let them just destroy themselves and let the
Yeah.
Republicans flourish and have a decent life where they can afford homes, their children can afford to have babies, and just get rid of these loony leftist a-holes, man.
I would agree with you, but can I throw in something?
Sure.
The problem with that is you go to a state like Massachusetts. Massachusetts, they've got all the congressional delegation is Democrat. They've overwhelmingly Democrat in the state legislatures, legislature. But 40% of the state is Democrat. The rest is either Republican or independent. And you have this bizarre situation in these states. Go to Washington State or Oregon, where if you take Seattle or Portland out of the equation, you have these magnificent states that are overwhelmingly sane people, and they're sort of ruined by this weird conglomeration of politics and the demographics of one large city. And it's just a horrible thing. California, I mean, look at California. That's got to have some of the most beautiful terrain on the whole bloody planet.
Beautiful
does.
state. Yeah.
And you drive around most of the state they're sane. But it's it's the San Francisco Bay Area, it's the LA area, it's parts of San Diego, and a lot of gerrymandering. I mean, these districts that are 10 miles long and 100 miles wide, not quite, but pretty close, that have been arranged so that some guy gets elected. And what really needs to happen here, and I feel for you, I do, but what really needs to happen here is we need to fix the education. We need to fix that. People need to understand what's going on.
Well,
California is the worst. And I Tony and Chris, I sent you Leaving California, this movie that literally focuses on just how in California, they don't care if you pass math. They don't care if you do your homework. They literally don't. And these kids are not getting an education. And it's a disaster. My state's a disaster. I born and raised, here almost 66 years this month. And I've just never seen anything like it. And it's very, I mean, It
have an
can
answer for
get
you.
downright depressing.
that-
I have
that
an answer
point,
for you
Cherie,
guys.
Yeah.
I-
So, oh, go ahead.
I do
Go
have
ahead.
an answer for you. I was reading through this, and apparently you brought up the actual point of Department of Education statute number 157, how to create Democrat voters. It's exactly how you described it. Dumb down the math. Hughes invented math, by the way. Get rid of phonics. Bring in invented, or let's say, memorized words in something called whole language. Invented spelling. Dumb everything else down. Eschew science, and as Zoran Mangami wants to do, like De Blasio, get rid of the gifted programs in schools, and you have people collectively dumber to become part of the collective. This, my friend, is
Well,
how you get Democrat voters.
but again, this is sustainable development. I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is Agenda 21, which
Yep.
they've now renamed
Yep.
as Agenda 30. This has been since George Bush Sr. I mean, he ushered it in, right before Bill Clinton won the presidency, and he literally just ran with it. They knew it was going to take 30 years to dumb down these kids, to take math out of the equation. The fact that they just elected that chick governor who wants, LBGTQIA, go blow yourselves. I mean,
Yeah.
she, I mean, it's like, well, we're done. It's just, they're throwing our kids under the bus and they are ruining their lives. And again, this is sustainable development. You got to read the book Agenda 21. It's all there
Yep.
in black and white. That is their playbook. I have the book. I've shown the book to you guys.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, it's a nightmare, but this is what they're doing, period. And math doesn't matter in Agenda 21. They don't want, because any children that are well educated consume more in their view, and they want us all the same, dumb and dumber.
If I can throw in, I'd ask everybody listening, go online and search for 8th grade test 1895. And just take a look at that and ask yourself how far we've fallen in 130 years.
Oh, yeah.
8th grade test.
We fell off the cliff. We fell off the cliff. That's what happened.
Yes. Yeah.
We literally fell off the cliff.
So speaking of cliffs
Yeah.
and people, Tim Wilson's joining us now, right, Chris?
Yes, we got Tim. Tim Wilson's here as well.
We'll have to talk him off the cliff. Yeah. And there he is. There's Tim Wilson, Lieutenant Colonel Wilson. And he's not on the cliff.
Well, let's
That's
close
right.
up. Let's put a close
Hello.
up on that here.
What is that?
Good evening,
There
What
it
has he
is.
got?
Okay, I just heard what you were. I came in and heard you talking about education. This is a 1951 book called The American Citizen's Handbook. It's amazing. It's worth reading today, and it's what is not taught in our schools.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't even have a 10th grade education because I left
Wow.
to go on the road with the Runaways 3 months into 10th grade. But I know more math, history, English, far more than what the kids are that have college
Yeah.
educations have.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
not that I'm
Because
smart.
you
It's
avoided being
just
indoctrinated. Yeah,
I had
you avoided indoctrination.
great teachers back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what a shame.
Well,
That's why I say
I would
black
ju-
was the only color I could wear tonight.
yeah, and you were right. I mean, it's depressing. It is depressing.
Hey, I got black on.
Well,
I got black.
yeah. See, well, so
Going to a
let me say
funeral.
this. Let me say this. I don't think it's going to lighten the atmosphere, but Virginia, to Pete's point, Pete said this, and Pete is in Virginia, and he's not been arrested yet, so that's a good sign, right? No Gestapo at your door.
Not yet.
Not yet. So the state police haven't arrested Pete yet.
And the dog is alert, so I'll get a heads up.
So that was a blue state already. I mean, Youngkin did a good job, and God bless Youngkin, but Terry McAuliffe screwed up big time, and that was why he won. So Virginia's a blue state, unfortunately, and so is New Jersey. And Vinny, it pains me to say this because, you know, you're surrounded by knuckleheads, and no wonder the mafia. Do you think the mafia could kind of start focusing more on, you know, morons? I think it'd be a good thing to do. Anyway,
Moron.
Yeah, I think,
morons. Yeah. So, but
What are we supposed
they
to
were
do?
I
both
think
blue
they should
states.
clean up New Jersey.
Yeah. So, and
I think
Sharia,
they
I
should
hate to
clean
say
up
it
New
because,
Jersey. It's
you know,
too bad.
the Democrat Party in California has become essentially unstoppable. It's a mono party. And
Oh, if this passes
I don't
too,
get
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Yeah, I don't
You
get
know,
it.
I don't either, because what they've done is they've sold all of our children down the river, and all for
Yeah.
virtue signaling, and think, you know, well, I'm just going to be cool, and all, you know, DEI and trans right. And the thing is the children are all left behind, and they cannot afford a home. The
Yeah.
California dream is dead, black, dead, dead. I'm
And,
telling you. I mean,
and the
and
new
they're never going to change. They say they'll change it back in 2030. They will not. I guarantee you, they will
No.
never give that
No.
up. That means
They never
California
give up
is
power.
dead.
They never
Right.
give up power. Yeah.
No.
and in New
So
York City, it's going to be the exodus is going to be amazing. The one thing I pick up out of all of this is I do the Second Amendment, a lot of Second Amendment, and
Yeah.
over the last 30 years, we've seen a remarkable change, going from one constitutional carry state back then to 29 now, coming up on 30. And it's a good thing to have something.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing to say, but the example that's going to be set in New York and Virginia and California is going to carry through. And eventually, Mamdani is promising the biggest, most important topic was economics and how everybody's feeling bad. Mamdani is going to make that better? No, he's not.
Right.
So, well, let me hit that real quick, because Tim, before you came in, we were talking a little bit about it, but I think now that everybody's here, I want to go through it again. So, right now, and I asked this earlier, and Chris didn't know, and I'm disappointed because he's in New York and he should have known. The cost of free buses to the city of New York is $3 billion a year.
Yep.
$3 billion. So Mandami says, "Oh, we're just going to raise the taxes on the rich 2%."
Yep.
The rich right now, the rich who pay 58% of the city's taxes.
Yep.
1% of the people pays 58% of the taxes. These are the rich people, and so 2% more on 54%. Okay, I think that's probably going to cause the you're going to kill. What's the proverb?
The golden goose.
Right.
Kill the goose.
So it's it.
Well,
So
there was a poll. I mean, Tony, you probably all have seen this, but there was a poll just a couple of days ago that suggested that the top 9% of Manhattan is prepared to leave if Mamdani snaps.
Yep.
They're the ones that can afford to.
Yeah, they're gonna pack up and go away.
Yeah, they said 1.2 or 1.3 million people want to leave New York already.
Yeah.
If Mandani, man, weirdo, whatever his name is. So it's not good.
The fascinating point of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I just wanted to ask you, you've got the expertise, you fellows, but how long do you think it will take for him to literally get his claws in deep enough into New York City to really show just what a mistake they've made?
2 years.
Well, let me
2 years.
let me try.
Well, I think the problem. Go ahead, Tony.
No, so let me start out and frame it. It depends a lot on who he appoints to be his deputies, because one of the things I've noticed about socialists and communists, they really suck when it comes to picking people who actually know anything. Look at the Biden administration, just saying. Mm-hmm. And the one saving grace of the Biden administration, they had so many stupid people in positions of authority, they couldn't figure out how to do things, which is good. So it depends on who he picks. If he picks people who have some level of skill as well as political loyalty, it can be done pretty quickly, because the first thing he's going to do is he's going to get control of the budget. And once he gets control of the budget, Katie barred the door, because it's going to go bad. There's a little place called Dalton, Illinois. The mayor, the super mayor was there. She was a socialist, and she went. We all remember her because she was finally kicked out.
Yeah.
But she actually took a surplus and made it into a deficit in about a year and a half, right? So I think Tim's right, about a year and a half.
Newsom did the same thing.
Look, I have a reason for saying 2 years. It's very simple. all these people are going to leave, and the tax base next year is going to be a lot smaller. He wants to increase spending hugely. He's going to buy all this property to give people cheap housing. And, you know, the economics of it all says disaster will strike very quickly. So I say 2 years.
I mean,
on that point,
as far as building, are they like California, where literally it takes years to even build a home because of all the red tape?
No, Cherie. There's no building. So even the places you can build a little bit is the Bronx and Staten Island. Brooklyn, you can't build anything. Brooklyn is like zonked in. Manhattan, you can't build anything.
No.
Well, what is he talking about then? Because that's what he says.
He's talking about confiscating apartments from the rich.
Right. Oh, and he wants to tax whiter
That's it.
neighborhood.
That's it. You're exactly right.
It's only
and he wants no people to be able to own property. You know,
Correct.
No private property, which is I think also where we're
one of the major time point that's going to really tell is next 9/11. He's going to be leading the memorial services.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
New York City is going to get Sadiq Khan light. But what they're also getting is Bill de Blasio too. That's that's a horrible combination. Cherie,
Bill de Blasio endorsed the guy.
Well, you asked how long it would take for Mandowney to get his claws into the New York City finances and the government and everything. It didn't take Bill de Blasio very long, but Bill de Blasio's wife was the right-hand woman to Al Sharpton. The guy was on the phone with Al Sharpton virtually every day. See, what happens when these socialists get into power is the wrong people in the city also get into power, and everybody wants a piece of that pie. And Sharpton got a big one back in the day. And you better believe that these socialists, these other types, are going to. You heard his campaign people wanting to make New York a city where the taxpayers have to pay for anybody who comes into that to get a transitional surgery, if you will, gender transition. This is going to be a takeover. It's a takeover with willing sheep who voted for this person, and now I believe NBC has called this race for Zoran Mamkami. Now,
yes, they have.
And don't say this guy should be impeached.
So
this is a nightmare.
But the worst thing is, you try to impeach this guy. New York City set up where the deputy mayor does not get in when the mayor is kicked out of office or has to leave office for some reason or another. It's the public advocate. The public advocate is usually somebody who's even more out there to the left than most people.
What about a recall?
What they do. We can't recall in New York. And this is we have Jumaane Williams here.
Wow.
I just want to throw this. We have Jumaane Williams. He's been a far left nutcase in that city for a long time. Always wins public advocate. Tried to go for mayor. Luckily, they weren't. People weren't big on voting for him at the time, but he didn't place as badly as you'd think in the ranked voting.
But he is an extreme character.
Yes, he is. But this is the guy that takes over if Mamdani is somehow kicked out or disqualified in one way or another, which won't happen. But let's just say something does happen.
One other thought.
What happens if President Trump steps in?
Doesn't matter because he steps in.
What happens if President Trump?
City charter says Williams takes over.
Yeah, they could deport him maybe, which I think they still ought to look at because he lied on his immigration documents, which I think is valid. So.
Right.
The only way Trump steps in is if the governor invites him.
Not till possibly next year or the year after, if you
want. I hope something happens because a lot of people are the property values are gonna drop. The place is New York is gonna be a disaster. I'm sure President Trump's gonna do something.
Just remember.
Vinny, I want to ask you this.
Sorry, Tony.
Go ahead. No. Well, let me ask Vinny a question. So, Vinny, what was behind, do you think, Governor Hochul, endorsing him? Hochul.
All right, Hochul.
In English, Hochul.
Hochul, yeah.
Anyway, why did she? Because she didn't have to. She could have stayed out of this. But Hochul endorsed Zandami. Why did she do that? Why do you think she did that?
Anything for a vote.
There she is. There's
But
the
I
governor.
think, I think she's a puppet anyway. I think she's a puppet. It looks like her too.
It is.
It looks like her.
Why did she, I mean, she came out and said that there was no way that there could be, public buses for free. Why did she
Right.
say that now? Why didn't she say it
Exactly.
before? I mean, she waited till the last minute after she endorses him to say, everything he said, that can't be done. I think he'll do it because I mean his mentality is a little different from people steeped in Americanism like myself
Right.
and all of you. I mean, he is just he is a different animal entirely. Very scary.
Well,
Very
look,
scary.
the thing of it is, though, is a city is a creation of the state. So Hochul, the government, the state government controls all sorts of elements that are nominally part of the city. So the city transportation is really controlled by the state through an organization, a separate organization. A great deal of the daily public services, social services of the city are in fact controlled by the state. So the governor can harumph and make him get back in line. And so as he tries to implement extreme measures, Hochul is going to have a role in saying what we can and can't do this week, kind of thing.
Well, that's my question to Tim. So Tim, you live in New York.
Not in the city anymore.
Well, I know you don't, but I'm just saying, to Pete's point, there is a death grip, if you will, death embrace. Can I say that? I guess I did. Between the city and the state. And I've talked to people up where you live, not recently, but I have in the past. They're upset because the city sucks so many resources out of the state. So why did Hochul say what she did? I don't get it.
I'm not sure. I suspect it's trying to placate because Hochul is up for election next year. So she's trying to act centrist, even though she's not.
That works.
But the big one to me, I mean, this whole thing is going to end up as a complete disaster. And it's going to be Hochul that potentially can see herself coming in to rescue things. But I would ask you this. You talked about the transportation system. The subway is already famous for being not exactly the first world shining example of how it should be. It's a dangerous place. And Mamdani's not going to support the police. He's already said that. So what's the crime rate going to do there? Plus you get all the wealthy people going, and that then that knocks on because a lot of people depended on the wealthy for jobs like cleaning their apartments and doing their plumbing.
Well, then you have this other question. Which wealthy are going to be staying in New York or supporting this guy in this kind of government? A lot of money that goes into these people like Zoran Mamdani, like Beto O'Rourke. Remember him? And some of these other lefties. They don't come from within their districts. They don't come from within their constituencies. Most of the money comes from multimillionaires and the billionaires that they hate so much from outside. I saw a list. I was reading a list on MSN about the celebrities that support Zoran Mamdani. You wonder why they do that. They probably feel so bad that they make so much money by doing
Mandy
nothing.
Patinkin,
right?
One of the richest actors in the East Village. Mandy Patinkin.
Jewish. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he has an excuse. He has an excuse. He's just getting even with Andrew Cuomo because Cuomo killed his father.
Yep.
That's right.
What?
All right. That's bad. That's a bad Princess Bride reference. All right. Never mind. All right. Want to hear the list?
You keep using that word, and I don't think you understand what it means, Chris.
Right. Speaking of Princess Bride, let me give you that list, okay? Wallace Shawn, the Vanzini himself, is a supporter of Mamdani, but that's not a surprise. He's a longtime socialist. He's an avowed.
Which guy?
Wallace Shawn. He was the Vanzini.
I know him. I've run into him.
Inconceivable.
Yes, I know who he is. We rode the train together from New York to DC one time.
There you go.
He is. I could tell. Yeah, he's a socialist.
Yeah. That's him. A lot of these guys are, but this guy is he's proud of being a socialist. Baldrick's a socialist, by the way. The guy who plays Baldrick, that is.
Do they even know what it is when they say they're a socialist? Do they even know?
I don't think Shawn's
it's failed every single time. I mean,
don't think so.
some of these people
They
think
don't have
they're
a clue.
intellectuals by claiming to be socialists and saying, "Oh no, those other countries never did it right. We'll do it right this time."
So I would throw this out to anybody who out there who is thinking perhaps it could actually be made to work. Is think about it in just a limited sense. Imagine if just one house on the street that you live on is going to decide what everybody on the street buys for the next year.
Yeah, right.
Just put it in that term.
Yep, you're right.
One guy is going to decide
Absolutely
what you
right.
buy for the next year. Now multiply that times a million.
So, well, no, and this is back. I asked this question earlier.
You mean an
because
HMO for the state, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to
Central
pay.
planning.
You pay out the rear for
So,
it, but yeah.
Well, that's one of the things. So, Cherie, before you came on, I asked this question because it was something I've seen a lot of videos where people were interviewed about. Well, why do you like Mendami? Well, he's going to do things for us. Like what? Well, he's going to make things free. It's like,
Yeah,
really? Do you really believe that? Oh yeah, he said it. He's going to make buses free, and we're going to get free apartments. People really believe this crap. So
Yep.
I mean,
it's embarrassing.
I mean,
Yep, you're right.
Cherie, let me ask Cherie this, because Cherie, you know, you've only got a 10th grade education, but I think even you see that that's like,
I
what?
don't have a 10th. I don't even have a 10th grade education.
But that's nutty. I mean, anybody who has common sense, which we all, I'd like to believe, do, because
Exactly.
we've been on, you know, but that's stupid. It's like, what makes you think that this guy's going to magically come up with $750,000, which is basically the mean, comfortable, mean income you have to be comfortable in Manhattan? How's he going to do it? He's not. It's not. And so it's just to your point. Who said they're not going to make it 750,000? They're going to make it 30,000, and everybody's going to be equally miserable. That's what's going to happen.
Tony, the reality is it is going to end up at equal misery for all except him and his cronies.
Of course.
But it's really a question of how bad will it get and how fast will it get there. At some stage, you know, hunger will drive people to revolt. That's what we're hoping for in China, in a way.
You raise a great point, Tim, and I think it'd be very interesting to watch what happens to these bizarre, economic models that they come up with about they're going to restrict how and where trucks can enter the city. You know, if people, no one who has driven the length of the New Jersey Turnpike will miss the fact that about 100 miles outside of New York City, you start seeing warehouses.
Yep.
Those warehouses feed the city.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
That's where they're there.
Yes.
Well, keep in mind,
The other part is free electricity. That's
your average young socialist, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy talk by people who don't understand how the world works.
Well,
wait till my thing again is wait till the blackouts start.
Right.
There are interviews and with these young people. A lot of young people think that food comes from the store. Okay.
Well,
you don't realize how things work.
No, I think the person who most and she said so. The person who most represents the generation of people we're talking about is AOC, Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
She actually got on her. You all may remember this. She got on her like a Twitter thing or whatever, and did this video. It's like, hey, this is a garbage disposal. I've never seen this before. And I think she was serious.
Yeah.
And then she was talking about how gardening. Gardening. I had no idea things came out of the ground. I don't think she was joking. Yeah, I think she's that stupid. And I think these kids are that stupid because they've been indoctrinated. They haven't been educated.
Yep.
And that's
a good point. They're not, it's not stupid, it's education. It's a really truly miserable education that they don't understand, where meat comes from, where milk comes from. Everybody in the planet goes spend a couple of days on a dairy farm to understand just what an amazing amount of work goes into making a gallon of milk.
Yeah.
But you see in other countries that the kids are actually putting together things or working on engines and doing this, and our kids they're dressing them up in rainbow colors.
Right.
Yep.
No, it's true.
That's a disgrace. That's
Yeah,
a disgrace.
And these young people that call themselves college graduates, a lot of them
Oh,
come out with intersectionality degrees and or some kind of gender studies or ethnic studies degrees. If you note, they have these uniforms, so they identify each other. Generally, for the women, it's the Judith Butler haircut and the big glasses. Yep, to a man, and some of the men have that too, by the way. Or if you want to call them that, like Mark Cuban.
no, I mean the big glasses are the leftist thing now. It's
Yeah.
like that and the masks. They're getting
can
away
I
from the
just-
masks.
Yeah, I'm even
The new-
afraid to wear I'm afraid to wear my black glasses now
Oh,
because
no.
I don't.
Did Rachel
yeah,
Maddow
it's
come
like-
and replace Sheree?
Can I just
The Cracker Barrel chick? That's what it was. That's
one other glimmer of light around here.
Well, that's Tony. He's got black frames.
One other glimmer of light is that if there has been any corruption or dubiosity in the voting systems, at least we got a year now to try and ferret out what went on.
Well,
I can tell you-
Did you see the ballots in New York? Did you
Yeah.
see the ballots?
Exactly.
I mean, how do you
Yeah.
make that mistake? You know, I mean,
what mistake?
well, they had
That was deliberate.
that was deliberate. They had Mondami like on there 4
Twice.
times, and
Yeah, I'm on top. Yeah.
That is how
Yeah.
it works. That's
It-
how it works in New York.
Twice
New York-
on the top line and the opposition's on the line below. Yeah.
Right.
And
But
I
here's
got a
the-
notice as
But
well.
it's
I mean,
legal.
California had a mistake as well on the mail-in
That
ballots,
was
which I
not
didn't
a
even open
mistake.
mine.
That is
Oh,
how
yeah.
New York operates. That's
But-
legal in New York.
No, but I
In-
mean, California did it. I mean, we also had a mistake on our ballots. They sent, of course, I got it, today.
New York was
So-
not a mistake. I said. I think I said this before you got on the air. Anybody who's tuned in late did not hear me discuss this. But in New York, there is a situation every time there's a gubernatorial race. Any party that gets 50,000 votes gets a top slot in descending order from how many votes they got. So generally, the Democrats will almost always be on top.
Yep.
Because the governor is the Democrat. Under
Yep.
that's going to be the Republican, and then generally you have a conservative party, workers' party, or whatever, and maybe some other party that sneaks in there. And under that would be the independents and any other party that didn't get enough of the 50,000 votes. So therefore, on the New York ballot, you could have conceivably two lines for each Sliwa and Mandani, and one way down there, five rows down for Cuomo. And that's
Let me
that's
ask
the
that
way New York
But
is
for
set up.
Sliwa, though, the thing is they had it where if you were voting for him, you actually were voting for Mondami. That was the-
Okay, but Mamdani actually won by enough that Sliwa's votes don't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
At
Interesting.
this point. At this
So that
point.
was the big accusation, Tim, that people were
Yep.
saying, well, Sliwa needs to get out because those votes would probably go to Cuomo, not
Yep. No.
So let me ask that because Cuomo was so desperate. He actually, was it today or yesterday, apologized for all the people he murdered in nursing homes? And I'm not
Oh, yeah, that was going to work.
so
That
so
just
it's kind
reminded
of like,
people.
well, I'm sorry I'm a mass murderer, but I'm still better than the communist.
Yeah, there's only one guy
what?
that would have affected the race a lot better, and that would have been the Kramer guy who ran for mayor a couple times.
Yep.
This guy should have run again. I would have hoped that more people would vote for him. Here's the guy Kramer was based on. He ran for mayor.
Yep.
Well, I
Oh
think the
God.
people that voted for Mondami, it's just a big middle finger, to
Yeah.
the government, basically,
Yeah.
because, but the thing is that they're turning over now more power to the government. The government created the problems, and here they're just asking for more. I mean, it's insane. It is literally insane, and I'm so tired of hearing them saying, let's get Trump, let's get Trump. I mean, Trump has done more in his
So
9 months, 10 months, then any president, I think, in
Yeah.
history.
Well,
Yeah.
concur, but also think about this: the fact that a mayoral candidate, for example, is talking about what the president is doing is a pretty good sign that he has nothing to talk about.
Yep.
right.
You've got New York City, this gigantic city of 8 million folks that has
The
all
bias
sorts
on
of
it.
issues, and the guy's wasting time talking about what the president is doing. Who cares what the president is doing?
Yeah.
Focus
Yeah,
on what's going on in New York. Fix
Well,
New
there
York.
you have it. And this is what New York City has become. New York City mayors generally do not really represent New York anymore.
Yep.
As you saw with de Blasio on Forward, they're actually chasing a national social agenda. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people seem to like and want in New York City, especially in
Well,
places like Manhattan.
the folks who have the money, that are supporting the candidates, the leftist candidates,
Yeah.
they want the New York City bully pulpit. That's what they want. That's what they're paying for. But
Yes,
the guy's not
New York,
addressing the issues of New York.
New York City, which used to be the financial capital of the world and is no longer.
Well,
most of the money now flows through.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true.
I've got a buddy of mine who was a very successful finance guy, and he makes the point that he hasn't been in downtown New York for years.
Yeah,
no one needs to go there anymore.
Yep.
And the folks he works with, they're all scattered all around the country. No one, no one goes to Wall Street.
Well, but that's the problem. So, and I want to ask this because, and let's go to the people in New York first, and then Vinny, because he can smell New York from where he's at, right? It kind of comes across, right?
No, I'm far away. I'm far away from it.
Well, anyway, so in theory, Vinny could smell New York if it was burning. So anyway, we'll leave it, and that might happen. So, but let's go first to Tim, and then, so I thought people learned their lesson, to Chris's point. Let's go to Tim first, and to Chris, after de Blasio. De Blasio was a terror.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was trying to get rid of the horses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Central
that.
Park.
The handsome
cab. The handsome cabs. It's like, why? Well, it treats horses badly. It's like horses do work, and if you and I don't think they treat them badly because they'll die. So you don't treat them badly. So to you, for what did people forget why they elected Adams already?
Yes, they've already forgotten that the ex-cop was elected to cut crime in Manhattan after de Blasio turned the place into a jungle.
Right.
And now they're electing Mamdani, who will, like I say, not support the cops, and there's going to be a horror show there. I used to go to New York every couple of weeks. I haven't been for over a year, and I'm probably not gonna. Well, I've got to go once fairly soon. After that, I'm going to avoid the place. Well, I'm frightened of it.
Well, I've got to come up to Jersey, and Vinny knows this too. I got to come up on the 11th. Well, maybe, I don't know. With all the different things I've been saying about Mickey, I may be banned from the state.
Yeah, they'll take you out.
But
you're on a
ACP out on you, Tony.
Anyway, theoretically, General Holt and I are going to be addressing a joint gathering of NYPD, if they're still there. Just saying, NYPD. New Jersey Homeland Security, New Jersey, I can't even talk. New Jersey National Guard, regarding their Homeland Security. And by the way, Vinny, I've said this to you before, and I've said this publicly. New Jersey, despite some of the politics, has one of the most effective and well-organized Homeland Security systems between the Guard and the Homeland Security folks. You all do a good job, and I think at this point, you're going to have to do a good job.
Yes, they do.
If the NYPD goes down, that's it. But anyway, but over to Chris before I go to you. So, Chris, why did people forget about de Blasio to Adams? Why did they forget? What's going on?
Well, first off, the Democrat machine wouldn't back Adams anymore. Adams would have been the mayor once again if, in fact, he didn't stand up to the Biden administration, the Auto Pen administration, and say, sorry, we can't take all these illegals.
We're doing a deep dive on that, too, on the Auto Pen.
Yeah. Right. We couldn't take all these illegals, and that's it. This can't be, we just cannot do that. We can't afford it. We got to put our foot down here. And all of a sudden, they took away his right hand, some of his right hand people within his campaign, within his office. They took away his fire commissioner. They took away more people from his administration, and they pretty much set out that you're not going to be running for mayor next year, and if you do, we're going to make sure that you're never going to get there. So they run an establishment candidate. Mario Cuomo Jr., so Sfachim Jr., if you will, Andrew Cuomo, and of course, Zoran Mandani. Now, this kid wasn't supposed to be there. He got famous by yelling and screaming at some kind of podium where that Lorena McIver put her hands on the ICE agent. She thought that was going to be her ticket to becoming the governor of New Jersey.
Yeah, not so much.
Right.
Not so much.
But he's the one that got famous. And
Yeah.
he's a handsome minority that will promise free candy to others.
Handsome.
It's a lot of celebrity endorsements.
Well, I want to give that question to Sharia, right? But I want to ask Vinny first.
Right.
So Vinny, so based on Adams, flaming out, you got Mondami coming in. Do you see people moving even more? Because I don't know, not everybody can afford to move to Boynton Beach in Florida. They can't. Just saying. I know people would like to. It's beautiful down there,
Even
but
Jersey.
they're not going to do it. So do you think
Well-
you're going to see more people move out of the city to where you're at in Jersey?
Well, the problem is that the people from New York are going to definitely move, and the people in Jersey, there's a lot of houses in Jersey up for sale right now. A lot. And a lot of people are moving out of Jersey. The taxes are too high. The school system really stinks. They say they got the best school system. They're closing schools left and right, left and right, left and right. They close them. And everybody's paying more and more taxes. They're buying up houses under LLCs, and you got about 20 people living in one house. And it's become like a shit show. That's what it's becoming like in Jersey.
Yeah, and so, well, by the way, Vinny, to that point, I've met within the last 3 days here in North Carolina, 5 people who moved from New Jersey and Manhattan to our little slice of heaven down here in North Carolina, where basically taxes are way lower. Just saying. I mean, way. We
Yes.
let me say something for the record here too. Now that we're on this, now, I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to throw it to Cherie next because I think she's got some things. So one of the things that North Carolina is doing, Cherie, you probably heard about, is that we're going to redistrict based on party affiliation, not on race like skin color. I don't know if you knew that, but we are.
No.
And
Wow.
so the Democrats are upset, because they're racist. Just saying. I don't know why, but so right now they are going to go from 3 safe Democrat districts to 1 because where I live, we believe it or not, I know this is hard to believe. I live in Don Davis's 1st district. He's a Democrat, and he beat my neighbor. And I'm pointing to my neighbor's house, Colonel Lori Buckout. Lori's a friend. She's been on our show before, and I can literally look out my window and see her house, literally. And they beat her by basically the Democrats beat her by secretly funding the Libertarian guy and pulling 8,000 votes away from her. So he won. Just saying. But enough of that. So basically, they're going to redistrict our part of the state so that, oh my goodness, we Republicans, we're going to be able to vote and actually vote for someone we want to vote for, because they're taking all the urban votes and putting them back in one of the red districts where they won't have an effect. They're basically destroying the last 2 bastions of racist-based districts. So, Cherie, do you think that's good?
A what district? A racist-based district?
Yeah, these districts were based on the skin color, not the party. It's like, no, we gotta have so many Africans.
Oh, no. I totally agree. I mean, I would love to be represented by Republican, but that's not looking like that's going to happen anytime soon, if ever. I think I mean, the voters should be deciding, these districts like we did before, thanks to Arnold Schwarzenegger. But, now we're just, I mean, both sides, New York and California, we are getting screwed in a way that I think is either going to be the end of the Democrat Party. I think it could be the end of the Democrat Party if Mondami just destroys New York.
Well,
I mean,
let's
what are
go
you
back
going
and
to
talk
do?
about let's talk about Prop 50 for a second. So
Yeah.
right now, as we speak, I don't know if they declared victory or not, but they were trying to say
No, not yet.
The line is going to be, they said, about 46% against Prop 50, 54% for, something like that. It's going to break down to about that. I unfortunately think it's probably accurate based on the Democrats there. But Cherie, there's parts of California. You get out to San Bernardino, you get up to Mount Shasta, there's a little town there called Weed, California. I don't know if you've been there. Great little place. A lot of marijuana. Just saying. Just fine with me. And no, I'm not. I am not joking. I joke a lot. I'm not joking. There's a place called Weed right next to Mount Shasta, and you don't have to be high to go to Mount Shasta. And by the way, there's no root beer at Mount Shasta. If you go there for the root beer, you're going to be very disappointed. There's no root beer there. Just saying. Anyway, back to the story. Weed, California. They hate Gavin Newsom. They hate the establishment, and they love Trump. So there are parts of California, Cherie, that love freedom. To include,
yeah, I would throw in here. I mean, just a recollection here. Reach way back in time here in the Dark Ages. Prop 2.5, which was an effort to force the government, and it succeeded in fixing the property tax rates in California. So put a ceiling on it, put a cap on them. Prop 2.5 was a very much a conservative effort, and people said initially when it came up, when it started move forward to vote, that it wasn't going to succeed, and yet it succeeded. So I think there's a, I in the back of my head I have this faint, vague hope that Prop 50 is going to actually that the idea here will grab hold, that the conservative side will win. It's not hopeless, and I, as Tony said, there are these little towns, but there are also these people in the cities. There is a conservative presence in California. The question is can you get everybody out to the vote? And
exactly.
if they don't come out to vote, you can win.
Yeah.
Gotta leave you. Be good.
Oh, thanks a lot, Tim.
Bye, Tim. So he was being recalled. He's got to help Prince Andrew now. Mountbatten resettled, so he's going to.
I thought he had to develop a new pin gun for you.
Tragic. No, I'm just joking. He doesn't. I know Tim does know Mr. Mountbatten. Is that what we call him now, Mr. Mountbatten? That's a mouthful. Mountbatten.
But that said, Tim is an American at this point.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. And by the way, you know how he did that, right, Pete? He's got good teeth, so he passed.
They don't check his idea of voting. Good teeth, you're fine. You're not a Brit.
That's right. That's right.
On the other hand,
those Monty Python teeth, you're okay.
Now Britain's finally catching up to what's going on over there, but that's taken them a long time. And if you want to see what New York City is going to look like in the next 3 years, you look no further than London and other cities throughout the United Kingdom. This is going to be a horrid reign. What I would suggest real New Yorkers do, because a lot of this money comes from Hollywood and outside interests, from very moneyed interests. A lot of money was funneled through the foreign interests, like George Soros's Open World Foundation, whatever he wants to call it. The fact is, all this money came into him, the Working Families Party, and pro-Mamdani groups to support this guy. He's not going to represent the city. He's going to represent the National Social Agenda.
Linda Salsour, the
Islamic agenda too.
She admitted that CARE,
Islamic and the Muslim communities.
Yeah.
And by the way, New Yorkers love their pets. They love their dogs.
And I'm saying bring them.
But he is going to try to stop them from walking their dogs. I mean, just like they're doing in London, because the mayor in London there, I mean, he is, their signs said, do not walk your dogs here, because, I mean, it's mainly populated with Muslims, and Muslims hate dogs. So, I mean, what I think that might be a breaking point when, but he also wants to push Sharia law in New York.
That's right. Here's what I suggest.
He doesn't want women performing in sports. I mean, there are things that they're going to say women can't do. This is going to be the biggest wake up call, and we need it. We need it. The Democrats need it.
Well,
I'm going to call.
But the piece there, Sharita, is what the press will in fact report.
Yes,
it's going to be
very true.
You see mainstream reporting versus alternate reporting.
Well, here's what I suggest. Here's what I suggest, Tony.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think of this? Let's all organize when this guy starts acting up after he gets inaugurated. I know it's not going to take very long. Let's all organize in response a 1,000,000 dog march. Sentinel, we're
Yes.
going to walk past Gracie Mansion,
Ooh.
and have everybody's Dachshunds, Poodles, and German Shepherds, St. Bernards all take a whiz on the Gracie Mansion lawn as we walk by. We call it the
That's a good
$1,000,000
idea.
march.
But I want to go back to the Sharia law thing for a second. And Cherie, I don't know if you
speaking
saw,
of
I
Sharia.
tagged you on X because there's a lady who went to the gym there in LA. I think it was one of the big gyms, and a guy was in her space, and she called him out. So if you go check X, I tagged you, and she's
Okay.
been very outspoken about this. And yeah, so this is it right there. Chris put it up. So this lady, and that's the guy, that's the creeper. He says, "Oh, I'm a girl." No, you're not. You're not a girl.
Well,
Oh my
he kind of
God.
looks like Rachel Maddow.
Well, that could be.
Oh, that was the guy in the bathroom.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's that guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
So anyway, my point
that was
is,
the guy. Yeah.
This fellow is saying he's a girl.
yeah,
Yeah, this.
yeah, right there. So there's the girl. And by the way, I tagged her. Run that again, Chris. So she.
Yeah,
really
I'm
sees
gonna play it if that's okay. Let's play
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Play
A
it.
little profanity
Yeah.
in this, but we're gonna play it.
It's okay.
Men, grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know.
Good.
The fuck?
Good for her.
And I tagged you, Cherie, on her feed on X.
Okay.
She's on there, and I followed her. And so this isn't about left or right. This is about protecting women. And what happened to the left saying, "Oh, women matter," because they don't seem to matter anymore.
They
What
don't
happened to that?
matter.
Oh, and by the way,
They
Yeah.
never did.
women bring their daughters to gyms too, by the way. Their young underage daughters, and this perv wants to go and change in the locker room with these
Yeah.
young girls.
Yeah.
He's gonna get hit with a bomb
And
all over the head.
well, we've talked about this before. They wouldn't have. They would never have attempted this in the 90s. Never.
No.
Because
No.
of parents like me, Tony. We would never have put up with this. There would have been
No.
blood in the streets. I mean, it just never would have happened. And again, this is the plan. This is the plan.
But Cherie, I don't get how supposedly liberated left women, right? I think we've all been in New York. We've seen those Karens. Whew. And man, oh man, I don't know how is these Karens going to put up with Sharia law when they're like half a Karen? Is that possible?
They
Can you
need
have
an
half
ass
Karens?
whooping. They
They
need an
voted
ass
for that.
whooping, and this is going to be it. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, this is going to be the biggest ass whooping, and New Yorkers are really going to pay big time with their freedom. With women, I think honestly, I mean, this is the biggest mistake that could ever
Well-
happen. What about the other Muslim that was? Is he running? He's
yeah, let's
really
go to
the
him.
scary. He looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yes,
What's with
the Omar
him?
Fateh you're talking about. Let's look
Oh,
at
in Minneapolis.
mayoral race.
Who also,
I can't wait
he
to see.
campaigned, but he campaigned, I mean, talking in his native tongue. I mean, this is America. You don't do that. I mean, he's scary, and he's waving. What was the flag? Gosh darn it! I'm just so
the Somali.
the Somali
Somalia,
flag. I mean,
Somalia.
so what's happening with that character?
I'm looking at it. I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to find some reliable.
Well,
Ray,
yeah,
sources on
and
this.
you know,
have pretty much tied.
Yeah.
The first few votes are in from Minneapolis, but it's just like 1%.
So, by the way, but I used to love hanging out in Minneapolis. I would come back off missions in the Far East, and the girl I was dating, Melissa, her sister, Victoria, well, she's a lesbian. And so I'd go down. There's a place called Uptown in Minneapolis where there's all these, lesbians. So we'd go watch girls together. It was fun. It was good in the old days. Just saying. It was fun. No, we'd have a great time. Anyway, but you can't do that now because all you're seeing is burnt out buildings and people robbing each other in Minneapolis.
Well, keep
It's
in
changed.
mind. I want to just reiterate this whole thing with Minneapolis. Joel Gray, the mayor of Minneapolis, I believe that's his name. He's more famous for whining when it came to the shooting a few weeks ago, He also was the guy that kissed the George Floyd coffin, if you remember that correctly.
Oh.
This guy bent over backwards, and I'm not even sure if that was just figuratively, to be as woke as possible. The thanks he got from the very people he's sucking up to was Omar Fateh, who's a big threat to his chances of becoming mayor once again.
Right.
So it's basically the worst two front runners possible in Minneapolis are Mr. Woke and Mr. Woke Somali. So it's not going to be these cities are going to be doomed after a while. Our society is going to crumble if we keep electing people like this. I don't think a lot of these people are going to learn their lessons, because there are so many that pat themselves on the back about being so diverse and everything. And the reason why is because none of them ever have to live with these consequences.
Exactly.
A lot of your rich Karens are sipping their Chardonnay right now, celebrating Mandani's victory and celebrating.
They're so out of touch,
right?
So out of touch with Americans. I mean, just everyday middle class Americans. They don't even think about us anymore. They just, and I'm really started to loathe these politicians, these lawmakers that's all they do is they make laws and they raise money. And that's it. And if they don't make enough laws, they get booted out. You know, they don't get the money to run or for reelection. We have enough laws. God damn it. I mean, it's just we're suffering so much now.
Well, Cherie, I want to start with you, and I want to go around to the entire group, because tonight does not move the ball in a positive direction. I'll just say that.
No.
It's like, the Prop 50 passes. That's going to be horrible for California. It's going to be the New Jersey loss, the Virginia loss, Manhattan. I mean, man, when you have to go for a Cuomo who's admitting to killing people, and he's the better choice. That's bad. So my question to you, Cherie, does this move the nation? Because let me preface this. I was just up in Utah last week for a few days. Utah is a well-run state. And did I mention the Republicans are in charge? Beautiful
of
state,
course,
well-run, and they're not changing. They're continuing to be very conservative. Wyoming, a lot of these other places. Yeah, you have these cities who have, and it seems like the liberal mind virus finds the most oxygen to live off of in these cities. But anyway, do you believe, based on the fact that some of these places like Utah, like we're at North Carolina, we're going more red? Do you think that we're on the path to a civil war, a national civil war at some point?
Yes, I do. Only because at this point, I mean, the corruption is just off the charts. And I just know how I feel here in my once beautiful state of California, and how absolutely insane these people are to vote for Prop 50 to pass, which means no Republicans will be represented. I mean, now the Democrats destroyed California, and they said, it's like, thank you, Father. Can I have another? What is it in the thank you, Chief? Or, when you're a soldier, when what is that? Bend over and thank you, sir. Can I have another? Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
From Animal House. Thank you, sir. May I have another? That's Niedermeyer.
Okay. Well,
Niedermeyer.
I'm literally speechless. I'm speechless of what happened today. I really am. I mean, this I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect to see these left governors that are all about getting Trump winning. I'm very, very disheartened by all of it. I do know that just like 9/11, sometimes something huge has to happen. And I think New York is going to feel it, and we're not going to take Sharia law. We're not going to take it here in the United States. And I think we're heading in a very serious space.
So, yeah, and so next to you, Vinny, do you think where you're at? That this is going to happen?
Yeah.
A civil war at some point?
Well, I know there's gonna be major problems everywhere, and like she was saying about Sharia law and all. I mean, women like to get all dressed up and go out and do this and do that. Wait until they got to be told to wear a bed sheet over their head all day
Yeah.
and walk around like
Yeah.
that, and no makeup,
Or
and get
wait,
hit with a stick,
or exactly,
right?
or you know, you
Get hit
can't
with a
dress up
stick.
and go out to dinner. You get stopped and they
Nope,
say we don't
nope.
like the way you're dressed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Sharia
Yep.
law is, I mean, just the worst. I mean, it's a nightmare that people just are not educated. They're not educated on purpose. You know, they have no idea what they've
I,
done.
I really think a lot of people, honestly, they're brainwashed. They're
Yes,
brainwashed by
they
the
Well,
are.
that's
media,
part of the problem.
by
Yeah,
by
I think
social media, by the
people
news.
stop thinking.
They have no idea what's going to happen. They
Yeah.
have no idea. Just like
So anyway,
I
so
forgot his
Pete, over to
name.
you.
But top.
Pete, do you think that that we're on the path? Because again, we're not. We in North Carolina, we're not changing path. We have a few cities who, Charlotte comes to mind. The Research Triangle, they're liberal, but they're still more Republicans than Democrats in the state. And we're moving to the point of where we're going to have, I think, only one or two congressional districts left. And I think there's a pretty good shot we'll get a senator, pick up a senator to, or have maintain the Senate too. So what do you think? Are the red states and the blue states going to come to a point where there's going to be a divorce?
No.
No? Okay.
Here's the problem. The problem, or maybe it's a good thing. Probably a good thing. Is that if you go back and look at 1860, 1861, there was a clearly defined geographic difference. There is no such geographic difference. Now, what you have now are some hard blue cities, and oddly enough, they're usually surrounded by some fairly deep red countryside. Chicago is a case in point. Illinois is dark red farmland surrounding Chicago, and even in Chicago, parts of Chicago are fairly red. And I always get a kick out of the Democratic Party lauding its support in minority communities. And yet, if you go into those minority communities and ask them non-political questions, they all come out as very conservative.
Right, exactly.
The Black and Hispanic communities in the United States are very conservative, but they vote Democrat, and that's a whole separate issue. But they are in fact very conservative. And so when you start wading into this thing and start pulling it apart at the pieces, what you find is that the far left is populated by academia, by very well off, massively in proportion white citizens, and frankly, they're not ready to fight. There isn't going to be an uprising led by 70-year-old baby boomers. And so what you wind up with here is a very real concern that what you're going to have is these very densely populated centers of certain cities with a good deal of violence surrounded by sanity. And the question becomes is, how do we control it? How do we get that back into the box? How do we get back into the situation where the madness going on in downtown Minneapolis is contained and tamped down? And that's a whole separate issue. And I would suspect that it's an issue that's best solved. Each one is going to be a different solution. It's not going to be a universal solution. But behind it all is the question of education. And we need to go back to this problem of the truly horrible public education in this country and graduate education, the college education. Fascinating thing here is we'll all date ourselves. you'll all remember probably about 1980. In fact, I think it was 1980 because it was Jimmy Carter. There was a bumper sticker that read something to the extent of, wouldn't it be wonderful if schools had all the money they needed, but we needed to hold a bake sale to fund a bomber? Well,
To fund what?
a bomber.
A bomber.
Yeah, I remember this.
And the
Vaguely.
fact of the matter is that the total amount of money spent in the United States on education exceeded the amount of money we spent on national security in 1974. And since then has been set, the two lines have been separated. We now spend about, depending on exactly how you count it, 50 to 60% more on education in this country than we do on national security. We spend more per capita on education in this country than any other country. We spend more in total on education in this country than any other country. And yet, our education is arguably profoundly abysmal. And what needs to happen here is someplace we need to get our arms around this mess. It's a fascinating thing here is that the total spent on education, when you look at the number of jobs involved, we've like doubled the number of people who are actually teaching between the mid 70s and today. But we've increased the number of people who are employed in education by something like 1,500%, because there's all these extra people, all that nonsense, all that money is being spent on stuff that has nothing to do with education. And again, I go back, I tell everybody to go online and look up 8th grade test 1895 and take a look at that and ask yourself whether the average 8th grader, whether the average college graduate in the United States today could pass that test. The answer, of course, is no.
Oh, but they have self-esteem and participation trophies. They should be
exactly
fun. Right.
Exactly.
They're winners.
Well, that's why I want to go with this. So I'm going to ask Chris the same question here in a second, but let me preface what Pete's saying. So as a county commissioner, you all know I got elected. I don't know why, but I did. And thank you. And so as a county commissioner, I promised two things: free buses, but we don't have any buses, so I'm safe. I can't give out something I don't have. So I'm safe on that. And that second thing is that no communism will not gain a single inch of ground in Chowan County while I'm commissioner, which has happened so far. No, communism has not gained ground here. With that said, the other thing that I do have to deal with is the budget regarding the school. We have a school board that one of my neighbors, Colonel George Lewis, intel guy like me, from a certain unit at Fort Belvoir, Pete, that will remain nameless, the Secret Army of Northern Virginia.
I know those guys.
I know those guys. Anyway, so he came down here about the same time, well, a little bit earlier than I did, but he got elected to the school board, and now he's in charge of the school board. And while it's non-denominational, he can't say he's a conservative. He's a conservative. And the people in charge of the school they can't say they're conservative. They're conservative. On the county commission I serve, of the county commissioners, five of us, 5 of the 7 are Republicans. And so, by the way, the city of Edenton, well, they're kind of, the guy in charge is kind of he can't say what he is, but I think he's a conservative. Anyway, my point being is that
if I can just add, if you've ever been to Eden in North Carolina, I highly recommend you go there. It's one of the prettiest
beautiful place. I've invited everybody to come down. So just come on down.
Unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah, he's been down. Pete's been down. You've been down to my house. It's a nice house, right? I don't live in a trailer, right?
Oh, Tony lives in a spectacular little spot. It's
awesome. I know. Love his house.
Oh,
yeah.
And to sit on the porch, on a nice warm day. Yeah, that's a great spot.
Yeah.
It's the American dream.
Yeah.
It's the American dream.
By the way, Cherie, I am grateful every day because I benefited from hard work, investing time in education, real education, and doing things, right? And you too. We've all done that. But my point being is that now we're trying to get back to the basics, to what Pete was saying. We need to get back to educating people. That's why we've taken over the school board. We need to make sure that things are adequately funded, not indefinitely funded. We've seen throwing at money at things doesn't work. I mean, look at Lizzo, man. All the money she got. Just saying, man. Oh man. Anyway, I digress. But
Well,
I
no, I mean
go ahead, Sheree.
what they're teaching our kids is when they're saying, "Oh, don't worry, you didn't do your homework. You could do it tomorrow. Oh, it's all right. You
No.
could do it by the end of the semester." The kids
Ah.
never do it, and what that teaches the kids is there's no urgency. There's no, they just don't
No
care. I
accountability.
mean, the teachers don't
No
care.
accountability. Yeah.
No
And
sense
that
of urgency. You're exactly right. No sense of urgency.
and that
They're
they
just
carry
there
for the rest
a
of their
paycheck.
lives.
Well, there's another reason for that too, though. A lot of times when we were younger, our teachers would call our parents if something didn't go right, or we'd have to take a note home and have our parents sign it.
That's
And
right.
our parents would believe the teacher because they knew I'd weasel out of my homework, I'd weasel out, or I'd cause disruptions in the class, and I have to answer for them. Nowadays, and it's been going on from the 90s on, every parent's kid is a complete angel, and it's the teacher's fault.
Oh
The
God,
teachers
yeah.
are
If
afraid.
you-
Man. Yeah.
No one wanted a note from Father Martin going home to the parents. Good God in heaven. That
But
would be
that's
a bad
the
day.
administration's attitude, Pete. That's the I in the Middletown school district. I live in the
My
Middletown.
notes
New York
never made
school
it
district.
home.
I live in the Middletown, New York school district. There are gang fights amongst junior high kids. There's violence. There's kids left behind. There's social promotion. Kids come out barely being able to read. And what does the administration do? We had because I think she had to step down a superintendent chick named Amy something or other. She decided to call every student scholars. So every time she spoke, our scholars are going to be going to school.
And
knuckleheads.
you can't fire these teachers.
Right.
I mean, that's the root
But she's
cause.
covering it up. She's trying to cover all the problems up.
teachers,
Right.
the teachers are as lazy as the kids they're producing
Not all the
in
administrators.
these schools.
The administrators
I
don't
can tell you
encourage
stories.
good teaching, though.
Yeah.
that, Chris?
Well, we're going to have to just start making sure that teachers pass some form of a test because we don't even know if these teachers. You can't fire them if they're terrible. That's the root problem for our kids is bad teachers, and we got to get rid of them. Somebody's going to have to do something because otherwise we are doomed.
Well, that's part of what I'm
friends.
working on right now. Sheree, I've got a 19-year-old. I was out visiting him last week, and he suffered from the really horrible schools. By the way, he lost a year because of COVID. That whole fake, stupid stuff. We talked about that today. I did a pre-interview with someone. I can't talk about that. Sorry. Ooh. Anyway, it was about COVID. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a few nights. Anyway, back to the topic. But my son suffered by the fact, Sheree, to your point, teachers who didn't care. They picked up a book and read from it. It's like, okay, I can do that. At one point, they didn't have a Spanish teacher, so guess what they did? They made him go to an online class. It's like,
you're kidding me.
You can't learn a freaking language from reading. Juan esta biblioteca in the baño or something. I mean, you can't do that. So
but I do.
You'll carol Taco Bell. It doesn't work.
I do want to reiterate: administrations are the ones. Also, it's not always the teachers. There are some good teachers out there. Not as many as you'd like, but it's administrations. Do you remember a couple of years ago when there was a school district in Connecticut? I believe it was Greenwich, but I'm not sure. It was O'Keefe exposed them. The superintendent made an order that nobody, conservatives or religious people would not be hired within that district. Only people of, let's just say, leftist liberal thoughts. And I can't say this is isolated to that district, but at least there was some solid proof. And what you're seeing out there, this seems to be the attitude of many administrations in this country. And that, of course, is also contributing to the coming. This is all by design.
And they don't want parents to raise their children. They don't want parents to know that their child is their daughter's identifying as a boy. What the hell is going on here? Are people gone insane? It's just, I feel like Annie Wilkes in Misery. What the cock-a-doodie school? It's like, fuck. It's
I mean,
just
you're exactly right, though. You're exactly right. The issue here is that there is a slice on the far left that wants the state to control the children.
yeah.
Because once you've done that, if you can, that's the what was it Lenin's great line? Give me the children for 3 years, and I'll give you the control of the country. I mean, it's
Well, this
Exactly.
goes back to Hillary Clinton. It takes a village. Just saying.
Or it takes a pillage. There we go.
Well,
Or it
it
takes
takes
the
a
village.
Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office too. But let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I don't want to swallow any of that stuff anymore. So.
By the way,
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, I want to bring this up because we opened that door. So, Cherie, why did Eric Swalwell get pegged by that Chinese spy? Is that true, or did I make that rumor up? I don't know.
Pegged?
Well, let's put it
Well,
this way: he had no teeth in his abilities to legislate, but he sure had a lot of fang.
That's right. Yeah. He was the Warren Beatty in that relationship. Just saying.
Oh.
Or the Ned Beatty. Not the bad looking one.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what
Oh,
the
no.
Democrats stand for anymore. I literally, they have nothing. What is going on? I mean, what has happened, from the time I was, like, I'm turning 66 this month. My childhood was so great. And
Yeah.
we can't offer that to our children. We can't offer hope to our children because they usually, thank you. Oh, and here's yours.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no.
We can't
When I first met
offer
Cherie,
hope.
so you all need to get. I mean, I'm going to say a shout out to you. Cherie is a beacon of resilience, bravery,
Wow.
and just persistence. God bless you. And so you need to get her book or get it. I had it on audio. I listened to, and by the way, she narrates it herself, right?
Yeah, that was my COVID. My one thing I could do during COVID is do my book.
It's
Yeah.
fabulous. It's fab, and I'm not saying it because you're my friend, but it is fabulous. So I'm just saying.
That's
So,
the original though. I mean, the one through
yeah.
HarperCollins, that's
I
a
forgot to
big,
bring it and have you
big,
sign it, but
yeah. Oh, are you kidding? But I mean, right now, I mean, I honestly truly feel the hopelessness of
Yeah.
I today it really hit me when I started seeing how the Democrats are winning and against Trump and two Muslims in high positions of power that we both know do not have American values,
No.
and they women are secondhand citizens, and everything we hold dear, even down to our pets, they hate,
Well,
and
so
they
I don't
hate
think they're
they hate
winning.
Well,
Americans.
I also don't think they're
Death,
winning.
death to America.
No, but
Death
but
to Israel.
they're not
well,
winning.
wait, wait.
I want to
I
get to this.
I have
I
a
want to throw
question for Tony.
All right, we'll get to Tony. So I want to throw this at you after you ask Tony the question.
all right, go ahead. It'll be quick.
Tony, do you think that Trump could pull martial law and take control of everything?
No.
So he's talked about, and the left's gone freaky mad about the invoking the what's that law? The oh my goodness, the Insurrection Act.
He could
Insurrection,
invoke that,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Insurrection Act,
And every
yes.
time he mentions it, they all freak out and pull their hair out. So the answer is yeah, but I don't think he's going to have to, because I want to go to Chris, because I think Chris has a question related to this. And to Cherie's point, I think the very essence, and this is one thing I don't get about the Democrats. Cherie, remember, during the Biden administration, they were trying to get the ERA, the women's rights. What is it? The
Equal Rights Amendment.
Equal Rights Amendment added to the Constitution. At the same time, they're adding Sharia law to the party's planks. How is that? How do people not figure that out? That those things are in conflict.
I mean, Sharia law is a nightmare for anybody. I mean, it's not. It's the most barbaric Neanderthal. I just, to be honest, and it scares me so much because, of course, to me that religion putting men
Yeah.
where women cannot walk alone, women, can be beaten, they're stoned to death,
Right.
and how I watched a
Mhm.
whole video and how they were talking about how you had to bury your wife or this woman to her waist. I mean, and they're just talking about it like what they're going to go buy at the supermarket, and then they stone her to death. And this is acceptable. I, I mean, these people are Neanderthals. They aren't even
Literally.
human. And when you strap a suicide vest to your little child, you're not human. And so I think that this will truly, oh my gosh, I don't know, something bad's going to happen. It's going to have to, because
I really think
people
it's
are going
going
to
to
have
wake up a
buyer's
lot of people.
remorse. Yeah, buyer's
Chris-
remorse, and then it'll be, it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be really bad.
So I don't know, Chris. I have a question for you. I know you want for me, but
Right.
is it true that they're going to have to put goats in the Times Square for all the Muslim men? Is that true?
They're goats and sheep.
Is that true?
Right, goats.
I
and the
don't know.
sheep will be in the
I'm just
bathhouse.
asking because I don't know
Look,
this.
That's right.
They're doing the call to prayer. They're letting them do that starting at 3:30 in the morning till
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the call to prayer. Can you imagine in New York
I
City?
can't
the
imagine.
call to
I
prayer?
had to live in Afghanistan for
Yeah.
almost
That's
2
a
years. So, yeah, I've
paradox
heard it.
too. That's a paradox too for the leftists. I mean, think about this. These people hate religion, but they're in love with the idea of turning their cities into more of a Sharia law place.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Sharia
In fact,
law,
Chris-
they cut your hand off if you steal a loaf of bread. And under Mondami, people are going to be stealing everything. I mean, how is that going to work? I mean,
Well,
it's just
So, well, Vinny,
People don't
do me a
know.
favor. You've got good connections there. Set up some surveillance on all the roads going into New York, and if you start seeing big old container trucks of goats, let us know.
well, the problem is that the only
Yeah,
problem
well.
with getting these goats to the city is they don't want to pay the congestion pricing.
That's true.
that's right.
That's
true.
right.
That's true.
So here's one.
So-
I want to throw this at all of you
All right, Chris.
here. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Your liberal friends are going to be telling you on social media that that they were victorious today.
Yes, they already are. They
but
already are.
But this is New Jersey, New York City, Minneapolis, and Virginia. I mean, these are Democrat strongholds. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is like saying I had a donut today at Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
California is going to likely pass Prop 50, but that's going to give the green light to the other Republican states considering redistricting as well. If you want to you want to play that game, Democrats lose over 20 seats. Texas is leading the charge. They're losing
Good.
over 20 seats.
And we're in the charge too. We're going to pick
Right.
up too. Here in North Carolina.
Right. And that's exactly right, Chris. The issue here, and Cherie, it is a little bit depressing, but I would tell you to take heart. Is that what we've seen here is the far left being the far left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Chris says, this is going to be a bit of a clarion call to the rest of the nation that they need to tighten things up. And I have faith that that's what's going to happen. I have faith that the, if you will, the groundswell moving things further to the right that elected Trump and 12 months ago. I have faith that that's going to continue, and then we're going to see folks take this action on the far left in New York and in New Jersey and in Minnesota and in California, and they're going to in Virginia and use that as a starting point to fix some things. So I have hope here that we're going to see some things adjusted as a direct result of this election. That the media, the mainstream media, is right that there's going to be change. The problem is it's not going to be the change they want.
No, and as a matter of fact, we're going to be watching New York City fail and turn into a combination of London and Mogadishu. It's going to move the needle. Right. This could move the needle overall in the U.S.
Right.
It's going to move like Baghdad.
Yep, we're going to see legislative victories in 2026. Historical.
Right.
And if this is now, again, this also depends on two other things: what the media chooses to cover and what it doesn't choose to cover.
Right.
Well, but also there's the fact that the mainstream media is of less and less importance every day.
True,
Yeah,
but still, people who vote watch the mainstream media.
Sure.
Now, the other potential drawback is lefties realizing they destroyed their cities and moving out and infesting suburban areas and exurban areas that were normally red, and then pushing their policies in these areas.
True, but the
districts.
folks who have been moving from California and Illinois and New York down to Florida and Texas, etc., are voting more conservatively than they were voting when they lived in New York and Illinois and California.
All right, this is great from Elizabeth here.
Yeah, that's true.
What
A
is
woman
it?
is worth 2 goats and 10 cases of vodka in
Oh,
Kuwait.
come on.
Yeah.
You're at least worth 12, Elizabeth. Come on.
Oh my gosh. They don't even, I just hope people start educating themselves on Sharia law. I think it's very important because they certainly didn't vote for this. They don't know what it is.
I
And
don't think they understand what they voted for. They've
no,
been sold a bill of goods. And by the
I
way,
prefer Sharia
I
law.
will say this. Well, I will say this, that Mandami did a brilliant job of harnessing all the angst and anger of the generation, the latest. What are they? What do you call them? Millennials or what are they?
Well, the boomers too.
no.
They had
Are
a
we the
record
boomers? We're the
turnout,
boomers.
2 million people.
Liberal boomers.
He buffaloed 2 million people.
Yeah.
Well, thereabouts.
Right.
Yeah,
The pots and pans.
the latest is that Mandami has just over 50% of the vote,
Yeah.
and
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Cuomo's at 41%.
Yeah. Slee was about what? Single digits. So even
7%, 145,000 people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind that another interesting point about Mandami's election is a Sentmar Hasidic leader had told his voting bloc to vote for Mandani. And that was something that Cuomo was probably relying on. This is the thing. Again, the Sentmar Hasidics are generally split in the first place. And we don't have the time to go into what happened as far as there some factions believing the Messiah has appeared in I believe, 1860s or something like that. And then there's the faction that broke off, and there are other factions that are just warring with each other, I suppose. But one major faction in New York City, their leader, Teitelbaum, I believe his name is, he endorsed Zoran Mamdani, which is perplexing to me, to be honest with you.
And look
So
at
who is this
Barack
guy?
Obama. Barack
Yeah.
Obama endorsed him. What is that going to do to Barack? He's already they call him the cross-legged Messiah. I mean, a lot worse than that, to be honest. But I mean, what's going to happen to him? New Yorkers are going to end up hating him worse than Trump.
Well, let's hope.
Because they're going to see that they were totally had and taken advantage of. These politicians don't care about the common man. They don't. They are so out of touch. And as they go, he's going to go to Martha's Vineyard and put his feet up and watch New York just fall to the wolves. And it's literally
and watch the water levels not rise. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
So
Yep.
well, we need to start winding it down. We've been having a great show. It's a few minutes left, so I'll have everybody go around and kind of give final thoughts. Let's start with cousin Vinny, and we'll go to Pete, and then Chris, and then Cherie. So Vinny, first to you. What do you think about tonight's outcome?
Well, I think we're in a lot of trouble. I think New Jersey's in a lot of trouble. New York is in major trouble. They have no idea what they voted for. Like she said, it's. I guess, like they say, karma's a bitch, and you're gonna have to deal with it. That's what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, look out for those goats for us too. By the way, Pete, up to you.
I will.
I would come down on with a forecast. It's going one of two ways. Is there may be a possibility here that New York will wind up being, if you will, throttled by the governor's office, and it won't be quite as bad. But there's also the distinct possibility that won't happen. And if it doesn't, I think there's a distinct possibility you're going to see the big financial institutions abandon New York. The big, Goldman Sachs, et cetera. They're going to pack up and leave because they don't need to be there anymore. And that's what COVID proved 4 years ago. And if that's the case, you could very easily see, New York City as the great city in the country taken down a notch. And it'd be a very sad thing, but it would really be an astounding thing to see. But I think that's a distinct possibility in the next couple of years.
So, Chris, to you next, and then we're going to go to Cherie.
It's funny you bring that up, and I do want to say this. Check out Tony Schaefer's Sentinel Circle on Thursday nights, and check out the Sunday
That too.
Debrief, which is on X. I was with you on a Sunday debrief, or I don't know if it's the one you weren't able to be at, but General Holt was talking about how Wall Street does have, to your point, Pete, a backup plan. They could easily swoop out of New York City if things get out of hand and go to a place like San Antonio or somewhere else. I'm just using that as an example, but this is what General Holt was saying, and I think we should maybe take another show and go more in depth with him as these things develop. But so those institutions are going to find a way. The problem is the people that voted for him are going to get screwed. They're going to probably move out and infest. I still say everything that happened today is going to be a positive for the Republicans in 2026 as things sort of wind down, they degenerate, everything else, especially the Prop 50 vote, Cherie, because when that passes California, every Republican state that was considering redistricting and correcting the wrongs is going to do that,
Right.
because the green light has been given by Gavin
Absolutely.
Newsom. They're going to lose around 20 seats, I believe that's what the numbers say.
So. So Chris, I've got one more
Yeah.
question for you. So does John Catsimatidis abandon the city and take his market with him?
Well, he does lose one of his major personalities. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, the guy didn't even support I don't think he supported Frankie Morano, another guy. Again, I'm not going to say anything bad about Catsimatidis. I understand he does have the city's best interest in his mind. I do believe that. But a lot of times you got to back your guy. And Fleetwood.
I don't disagree with that. What that said, he said if Mondami wins, he's taking his apples, so to speak, literally, and leaving the city. So
I don't know. I think ABC is going to be more profitable for him. So we'll see. Who knows? Yeah. As far as his grocery stores, there's no way Mandani is going to make government-controlled grocery stores. Those have failed. He's going to put bodegas out of business and make things worse.
Bodegas, as Dr. Joe Biden says, bodegas.
That's right. Turn the page.
Right. That's right.
And legalizing prostitution, which I mean, I'm not totally against. It's the pimps and the lawlessness, that he's asking for. Just it's a nightmare. Is really what it is. It's a nightmare. But you get what you vote for, right? You get what you vote for, and I really think we are so divided. We are so divided. We can't even talk to each other anymore. So something big has to happen for just like 9/11, how it did bring us together. I think we're really at that point where there's no other way. Something like this New York mayor is going to destroy a lot of lives, and well,
let's get that $1 million.
Well, they voted for it.
Yeah, they voted for it.
Yeah, I think these millennials they're gonna have a harsh reality in about 6 months. It's gonna start hitting pretty quick. I don't think they're gonna get what they thought. So
how about this? Let's all bring our dogs to his inauguration. There we go.
Yeah.
He'll be saying "ruh-roh."
So anyway, we got to wrap it up. So everybody,
right.
Thank you for being here tonight for the S Files, not the X Files. There's no X's here. All of our X's don't live in Texas.
No, but X was a great band.
They don't.
It still is a great band.
They don't. It's not. It's true. They don't. They live in other states, but not in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, some of our X's, we all get along with our X's, right, Cherie? We like our X's.
Yeah. Love our X's.
That's right, we do. So anyway, but that's another story for another night. We got to go. So thank you, Vinny, cousin Vinny. Again, I'm only joking about the
thank you.
I'm going to sneak those goats in no matter
That's
what.
okay.
So,
I'll look for them.
Captain Retired Peter O'Brien. Pete, if they come take you, let me know, and I'll get some bail money or something. I'll come up and get you. So and if you have to evacuate, no, I'm serious. Pete only lives like an hour away, so. If you have to throw everything in the car, I've got clean sheets on the guest room. Just saying. I just washed them tonight. So I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It is here. So, just say it.
So nice to meet you two gentlemen. I'm really honored, and thank you so much for having me.
You too.
Really
Nice to meet you too.
And I love you, Tony, Chris.
Love you.
Love you. Love
Love
Cherie.
you
you.
too.
No, pick up Cherie's book, Neon
Oh.
Angel. So,
Oh, wait, yeah,
Thank
and the
you.
the
album.
Pick
Neon
up
Boulevard
Angel is
Tony's
Splendor.
always over
books.
my shoulder. The
Hey,
Neon Angel is always over my shoulder, my right shoulder. There
Hey,
it is.
don't forget Boulevards of Splendor, the album. So
That's right.
Yeah, thank you.
that's right.
Well, I love you guys, and
Rock
God
and
bless
Roll Oblivion.
America.
What a great song. I love that song, Rock and Roll
Yes.
Oblivion. So
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Excellent.
Thank you. And thanks, Chris. Thank you, Chris, for being
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. Thanks, Chris.
I'm driving the plane like.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. And Tony.
Yes, right. And I appreciate the fact he's gone through the Ed McMahon finishing school twice and survived both times. He never was washed out to sea when he was drunk in Santa Monica. Just saying. So it's a good
I can swim.
That's right. He can swim. The riptide didn't get him.
Oh, that's got to hurt.
Ooh.
I liked Riptide.
All right.
It's a good show.
Well, we'll be back with more shenanigans on Thursday. We got a special interview coming up Thursday, right, Chris?
Yes, we do, and it's a big
Oh,
one.
and
It's on-
tomorrow we got something too, right?
we got something cooking tomorrow. Our
Wednesday.
live stream tomorrow is going to feature Daryl
That's
M.
right.
Brooks, and we'll see if we have some other guests coming and popping in and out of there. Thursday night, you're going to be talking to Dr. Li Ming Yin, and it's going to be a
Yes.
very in-depth discussion on Chinese spy tactics, and a lot of it what it has to do with the NBA scandal and a lot more. And really go in depth with her on this, and that's at Sentinel Circle at ColonelTonySchaefer.com. It's a very special interview.
Do you think I could ask her about Eric Swallow being, in bed with Fang Fang? Do you think she'd know anything about that? Probably not.
Well,
I should.
that would have to be a very special episode.
Yeah, that's a special one.
Get Gordon
Yeah, we'll
Shump
have
to
to
talk
talk
about
about
that one.
Anyway, we'll be back Sunday too for a Sunday debrief too. So I don't know what we're going to be debriefing on. We'll see what happens during the week, but we'll have it back. So thanks for all being here. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.